Up on the call is head coach Jay Hopson from Alcorn State University. Coach Hopson, are you with us on the call?
Yes, you have me.
Good. How you doing this morning?
Doing good.
All right. The Braves came out with a dramatic 21-20 win at Alabama A&M this weekend, and coming up next for the Braves on the schedule is a game on the road once again against Prairie View A&M on Saturday at 2:30. Coach, your reflections on the game up in Huntsville this weekend, and looking forward to your matchup against Prairie View.
Well, it was it was certainly great to get the win. It was a hard-fought game, which I knew it would be. It was a game where we came up with a couple good turnovers that really, we had the one interception return, which was a huge play in the game. But I thought the kids played hard. We still have offensively and defensively some execution things we got to clean up. But on the whole, they played hard for 4 quarters.
All right, and you have Prairie View A&M coming up, a team that scores a lot of points, but they're hungry. They just picked up their first win.
Right, did a great job. Got a big win over Grambling, and you know what I'm saying. So I mean, the same thing. We expect a battle. Week in and week out. The SWAC's a competitive league, so we expect another battle.
All right, questions for Coach Jay Hopson. Floor is open for questions for Coach Jay Hopson from Alcorn State.
Hey, Jay, this is Travis down at the Clarion Ledger. How are you this morning?
Hey, Travis. How's everything?
Good, man. Hey, if you could just, I know you keep the same message to your guys every week about going to work and then not really looking ahead too much, but do you feel like they're really getting that mindset, and maybe now a game that you guys win and others would consider an upset, it's just business to them?
Well, I think you hope so, Travis. I mean, that's where we have to get to. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we still, like I said, as we grow, you know what I'm saying, we have to live and learn every week, and like I said, there's still a lot of things, I mean, I thought the guys played hard, and it was good to get the W, but there's still, the tape doesn't lie, so there's still a lot of things that we got to get in and we got to get corrected. And, to me, it's all about, evaluating and getting better for the next week.
Yeah, Coach, this is Roscoe Nance. Even though you won the game, Kadarius Lacey, Alabama A&M's running back, had a big game against you guys. Just talk about kind of back he is and the things that he's capable of doing.
Right, he's a big, powerful back. A couple times we opened up some holes right there. That was a couple things I'm talking that I was really I wasn't pleased with. You know what I'm saying? We've got to reduce running lanes, and I thought we opened up some running lanes for him, and he did a great job. And he's one of those backs that if you let him get to the second level, he's going to create havoc on you. And I thought we allowed him to do that. And again, he did a great job, too, of making his cuts and finding the seam. And then he got in the second level. He had some big plays.
More questions for Coach Hopson?
Hey, Coach Hopson, this is Nick Birdsong with the Birmingham News.
Hey, Nick.
Hey, you guys getting the win against Southern and obviously getting the win against A&M. Having played, James Madison, Arkansas State before that, do you think that your guys were feeling a little bit underestimated coming into the game against A&M?
I don't know. I know those are two, I thought, really good football teams. We played earlier in the year, but I think I think they feel like, they can compete, with anybody, and I think that's something that, you just have to go out, week in and week out and compete and do the things you got to do to win, because if you don't, it's no different than the big loss we had 3 weeks ago. We laid the ball on the ground every other snap, it seemed like, and if you do those things, you're not going to win. So you got to do the little things if you're going to win football games.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
Any other questions for Coach Hopson? Coach, one quick question. Just looking at the statistics, you yourself probably had to look at it and wonder how it came out in your favor with Alabama A&M piling up 400 yards of total offense and the Braves getting 211. Talk about how important it was to get those timely turnovers that really turned the game in your favor.
Well, the first one we had a nice they had an out route and we picked it off. Devon Francois picked it off, and it was a big play. It put us up 14-10. I thought, again, I thought the other turnover we had like a fumble at midfield, which I thought was a big win for us. And they're always, football a lot of times is like I said, it's kind of cliche, but it's kind of like the Alabama State game. You looked at our stats, and we were 17 first downs apiece, and they beat us 58-14. You know what I'm saying? It was pretty much even statistical game, but it comes down a lot of times to blocking, tackling, and holding on to the football. And I think that's so many games swing when you don't do that. And I think that's something that you have to do. You're gonna win. You got to take. You got to do the little things. You got to block. You got to tackle. And you got to hold on to the football.
All right, looking at the standings, as we talked about at the top of the show, with your victory, the East is really a major traffic jam now. Is the team where you thought they would be at this point?
I think they're. I've been really, proud of them. That they're probably a little bit ahead of where I thought they'd be, but it's again, each week is a different week. So I mean, our biggest focus now has got to be on Prairie View.
All right. Any other questions for Coach Hopson?
Coach, Ken Rashad, TSPN Sports. How are you?
Yes, Kenny. How you doing?
Good. When you look at your team overall, and of course, football being an actual team sport, but are there maybe one or two individuals that have really stood out on your team since the start of the season that's made a difference in this streak that you're currently going through right now?
Ken, we've had some guys that have played good at times. I think, but on the whole, it's pretty much been a team effort. We're not that team that that has what I call that poster child guy. You know what I'm saying? That guy that you put out there and say, this is our guy. We're kind of an offense and defense by committee. Even quarterback. We play 3 or 4 quarterbacks, so that's kind of that's kind of who we are. But I think we've had some guys that have stepped up some. I thought the running backs, Arnold and Anthony, run hard, and Joe, and I thought John's done a good job as a freshman quarterback coming in. Neil and Brandon up front, and McDowell and Neil Brown, our offensive linemen, have done some good things. Jermaine Turner on defense has done some good things. Our linebackers, we're kind of a linebacker by committee group too. We got 4 guys that play, and they've done some good stuff. On the back end, I've been pleased with Jamison Knox and some of our DBs. They've really, so we're one of those teams. I said there's not really a poster child guy.
All right. Do we have any other questions for Coach Jay Hopson? All right, Coach Hopson, we'd like to thank you for joining us this morning.